All right, let's talk a little bit about period and frequency. So, what are those two things? So, period, which we will abbreviate with capital T, is how long it takes for one oscillation to occur, or one vibration, or one cycle. Okay, so it's time for one complete cycle. So if it's a pendulum, it's swinging back and forth from where you started, from where you come back again. If it's like on a swing set, that's basically a pendulum. If you start on the back, you swing forward, and then you get back again, right? So that would be an example of period. How long does it take for one of those swings to occur? And we abbreviate that with a capital T. The other thing that we're going to talk about is something called frequency. And so frequency is little f. And you can think of this as how many or how often do the vibrations occur. Okay, so it would be how many cycles, that's not how you spell cycles, in some time. And usually the time is in seconds. Now, the unit that we use for period is going to be the second. And the unit that we use for frequency is something called a hertz, Hz. And a hertz is the same as 1/second. So we would say it as per second. So why do we need these two things? Well, they're related to one another. Period and frequency are reciprocals. So period is 1/frequency, and frequency is 1/period. All right, so why is that important? Because if we know one of them, we can use it to find the other one. So let's take a look at an example. So this example is going to be the period and frequency worksheet, and it's labeled 23.1 period and frequency. So you want to get this worksheet, and what we're going to do is we're just going to look at just a couple of practice problems for this. So the first one that we're going to do is number 1, and it says a string vibrates at a frequency of 20 hertz. What is the period? So 20 hertz is the unit for frequency, so we'll write 20 hertz, and we want to find out what the period of this string is as it's vibrating back and forth. So we can just use the equations up here. We want to find out what the period is. Period is 1/frequency. So then the period will be 1/20 hertz, which is 0.05 seconds. So that is a very small amount of time, right? If it can go back and forth 20 times in 1 second, that's what the frequency is, then it stands to reason that it doesn't take much time to go back and forth just once, right? Because the period is how long does it take to go back and forth, and then for frequency is how many times does it go back and forth in 1 second. All right, let's try to do one more example. On the same worksheet, we're going to look at number 3. And so this one says a swing has a period of 10 seconds. What is its frequency? So we've got 10 seconds as the period. So that's capital T, 10 seconds. And we want to find out what the frequency is for this swing. So we'll use the equation that we have up here. Frequency is 1/period. So then frequency is 1/10 seconds, which would be 1/10 or 0.1 of a hertz. So this is the frequency of this swing. If it takes 10 seconds to go back and forth once, then it only will go back and forth 0.1 of a time each second. So there's a little information about period and frequency. You have 2 examples for the 23.1 worksheet, and you should be able to finish the rest of those now. Oh, one other thing, when we're talking about frequency, sometimes if it doesn't give you the time in seconds, another way that you can find frequency, there should be equals here, is that frequency would be the number of cycles per time, right? So that might be a nice, clever way of figuring out what the frequency is. All right, good luck on that, and let me know if you have any questions.